Start yes.
Good morning students. Today we will discuss the next topics in the aquatic biology. That is in the unit 2 sessions. Those are aquatic biology. In the unit 2, those are nutrient cycles. 2.3, that is nutrient cycles. Last class we already completed that the nutrient cycle, especially that one nitrogen cycle. Okay, ma? Nitrogen cycle is mainly synthesized in different type of ways. Okay, in the atmosphere, the resources of the nitrogen is what is the air. Okay, and next one the bacteria, and in especially leguminous family plants, they can have the root nodules. In the root nodules, we are observing the rhizobium bacteria, azotobacter, so and so bacteria. They are synthesized at the atmospheric N2s into the NO3 formations, nitrate formations, which are helpful to growing of the plants. And these plants can be eaten by the consumers or the animals. The nitrogen can slowly advance inside, and in this nitrogen is one of the important element or a chemical to forming of the proteins, building blocks. Proteins are the building blocks, right, ma'am? These are just amino acid formations, those nitrogens. And let us discuss in the class that is the nutrient cycles. Another two, those are sulfur and phosphorus. Second one is sulfur and another one is phosphorus. Right, ma'am? In the sulfur cycle, we are observing what is the main source. What is the main source in the atmosphere of this sulfur? Okay, it is also essential as manner of the nitrogen. Okay, nitrogen. But the main sources or resources which are coming from this sulfur on land, those are okay. First one is land. From the source of land, the sulfur, that is volcanic eruption. And next one is soil dust formation. And next one industrial. And fourth one, here where that the industrial aftermath, here the another important resource, which is the aerosols. The aerosols, the activity of the here the activity of bacteria, sulfur bacteria. Okay, these four sources are requires the sulfur. Okay, the sulfur especially in the form of sulfur dioxide, sulfides, hydrogen sulfide, and next one is sulfuric acids, and next one is okay, ma, sulfur trioxide, so and so formations are available under the sulfur. Okay, this sulfur is most important in the industrial manner. And what is the importance and what is the uses of this sulfur? Why we learn to this sulfur cycle? Why? Because this is play an important role. Okay, and this is useful in the one of the important industrial manner, that is the matchsticks and the onions also. Onions, when we cut the onion, the sulfur is combined with the oxygen and form the sulfur dioxide. That's why our eyes can produce in the tears, right, ma? And here some sulfur can also be important to synthesize the proteins. Proteins such like those proteins are cytosines, and another one is methionine, etc. Such type of proteins are produced from the basing of these sulfur. Okay, and in industrial manner, the sulfur can produce main useful in making of the matchsticks. And where we are eating onion is useful to us when we eat this raw manner, raw food. Okay, onion is we intake by raw manners. This is also producer. Okay, and another one is this sulfur can also one of the important essential element in making of the fertilizers. Is it visible? Right. Fertilizers are manures. Right, ma? Manures. Okay. These are important. So, what are the resources from the land? Those resources occurs in the volcanic eruption and the soil dust and industrial manners. And another one is that the activity, the activities of the bacteria, sulfur, okay, sulfomonas and sulfovibrio and thiobacillus sulfur. Such a type of various bacteria is there. This bacteria can produce in these sulfurs. When they are acting on the decomposed organisms, they can release this sulfur in the formation of H2S or the SO2 formation, so and so. Okay, here these excess of sulfur can also lead some diseases. Okay, and some vast results. Right, and next one, the another source of the sulfur from the oceans, water, aquatic bodies. Okay, this is made from the land resources. Another resource from the oceans, those are deep seas, where the seas is present in the sea. In the sea, the deepest part we are known as the benthic region, the deepest part. Okay, in the especially deep seas, it is hydrothermal even, hydrothermal vents. Next, another resource, here only three another resource of these oceanic or aquatic resource, that is biogenic gases. Biogenic gases which are produced from the aquatic organisms. And another resource of the last one, which is includes in these oceanic regions, that is aerosols which are containing, okay, these aerosols are containing the SO4. Aerosols containing the SO4 sulfates, and these sulfates can change the wiping of winds or the wind waves of the water. The three sources from the ocean and the four sources from the land these are all give us the essential element in this sulfur. This sulfur is occupies the 10th place. Okay, this is one of the most important element as manner of the nitrates, right? And next one is here the cyclic process of this sulfur. Let just draw the diagram of this sulfur cycle diagram. Okay, right. Here this sulfur trioxide, which can form into the sulfuric acids, and these are sometimes changes into the sulfate formations. Okay, ammonium sulfate. The next one, these can changes into the atmosphere in fogs and precipitations, and they can fall down when they are joined with the clouds. They are falling as an acid rains. These acid rains can enter into the oceans, into the runoff of waters. This is an ocean. The oceans, right? The water they can reach us. And now the evaporation is consist of this. The deep sea organisms, they are producing the biogenic gases. The bottom regions, the benthic region. Okay, here the benthic region, the bottom of sea or ocean, they can release especially the thermodynamic resources or the biogenic gases can produce us These gases are always enter into the atmospheric regions, and here the cutoff, and where this is a grassland area. Okay, ma. This is about the grassland area. The grassland area, we are observing so many plants, right? These plants, this sulfur is one of the important element to growing of these plants. These plants can eat synthesized by their root system, and these plants are eaten by the animals, and both are the dead. Okay, these plants and animals both are dead. These dead and decayed bodies decomposed processes occurs and producing the H2S. This is one more region now, H2S, and here we are already told here that is the volcanic eruptions. In the volcanic eruptions, the lava can produces and it can releases in the atmospheric so many sulfates or the sulfur process. And next one, that the industrial areas. In the industrial areas, they can also produces the gases and the fog and smoking fogs. Okay, these are some industrials which can produce. This is a man-made activity from these industrials. These are the volcanoes. Okay, and here the grassland, or where this land, especially the plains or the grasslands. These grasslands, these organisms can both, main plants and animals both are dead, their bodies are decomposed, and some special type of bacteria that as we discussed here. Okay, and next here those decomposed, and their body can release some the sulfides. Those are in the form of H2S. Okay, and here also volcanoes. These are also can operate the H2S, and here also be the sun. The CO2 are can releases from the factories, especially what are the major resources which are can releases in the atmospheric conditions, the sulfur dioxides, which means here the incomplete combustion of the fossil and fuels. The most important in the factor is incomplete combustion of fossils and fuels by the man. That's why sulfur dioxide is enter into the atmosphere, and it is when combined with the air, and it will turn as a sulfur dioxide. This sulfur dioxide can also combine with the water vapor or in the atmosphere. It can now convert into the H2SO4, which means they can enter into the precipitation formations and fog formations. Okay, the clouds are also capturing of these such elements, and can seasons. Unseasoned times only the rain is formed. This type of rains are known as the acid rains. These acid rains causes so many disorders in the plants, and also with some skin diseases in our animals or human beings. Right? The heavy deposition of the sulfur is one of the most dangerous causative to occurring of different type of diseases. Right? And this is about the cycling process of the sulfur in the volcanic eruptions and the industrials, and whatever the decomposition of the both life organisms and whatever the acid rains which are coming and from reaches the oceanic resources, and in the bottom of the region here also be the decomposing organisms is there. The detritivore shows the action of the dead bodies, and the biogenic gases will be methane. Okay, methane, especially methane gases will be produced from these regions. These all are completely formed in a cyclic manner, and that's why this is known as a simple sulfur cycle. This sulfur cycle is also useful, but when we eliminated the sulfur in excess of amounts in the atmospheric region, now it leads the disorders. Okay, where the limits of the sulfur is available to us or the organisms, it is enough. If the presence of less amounts of the sulfur is useful to growing of the aquatic plants in the aquatic regions, but when the sulfur percentage increasing in the oceans, it is shows the action on the reduction of the pH levels of the water. Okay, and unwanted growing of the another plants, those plants are utilizing the heavy oxygens. That's why the dissolved oxygen percentage will be decreases. It causes death of the aquatic organisms. So the limit, where the limit of or where the limit percentage of the elements is essential for our growth and our development, that is enough. If our actions are increasing the percentage of these elements, these are causes so many damages. For example, if we are using the old, where the service housing of the vehicles can producing the smoke. In that smoke, we are observing carbon monoxide, the sulfur, and some variety of these wastages. Okay, the combustion, incomplete combustion process of the fuels, it can release in the sulfur dioxide. These sulfurs can reach the atmosphere and forms the fogs. Okay, these fogs are come and together join, and the heavy temperature will be increases and the atmospheric conditions. Now suddenly the rainfalls are formed. This is known as simply the acid rains. These acid rains damaging the man-made historical constructions. Okay, and the papers and the plants, the growth can disturbed by these acid rains. And if we expose to the acid rains, our body can show some skin diseases. Right now, this is about the sulfur. Here the bacteria and the fungal are is most important. How they can synthesize this sulfur. Now let us see. The bacteria are especially Escherichia. Okay, this Escherichia is synthesized the sulfur under the anaerobic conditions. Escherichia is the bacteria. This bacteria can produce the anaerobic conditions. Right now, conditions. It can produce the H2S or the Hs. Is the one of the point. And another, the fungi organisms also can produce this sulfur. What are the fungi? Those species. Here, the Aspergillus and Neurospora. These two fungi. The fungi can also be produces the sulfur. Those are Aspergillus, and another one is Neurospora. These two fungi are also essential to decomposing of the dead animals and producing of the sulfur, and these sulfurs can reach us into the atmosphere in the sulfides. Okay, ma? And next one there, another one, sulfur dioxide enter through the incomplete combustion. It is over. But the 90% of the air pollution occurs through only this incomplete combustion of fossils and fuels, right? And next one is also in our homemade, the coal is burning to, coal is as used as one of the important factor which is or the essential resource to the cooking purpose. Okay, this coal also be incompletely combust. It can also be produced the high amounts of the sulfur in the atmospheric conditions. And next one here, the water converted to, okay, in the aquatic regions, it is the sulfurs are converted into the hydrogen sulfides, okay, HSO3 or hydrosulfur, what we said, sulfuric trioxides, and another one is, okay ma, sulfates which are combined with the salts, sodium sulfate, potassium sulfate, so and so. Okay, and here the another one is they are causing the acid rains. Already we are telling that the another important one is acid rains. And last one here, the heterotrophic bacteria, such as those are formed in this region. Heterotrophic bacteria, those are right now, sulfomonas, and another one sulfovibrio. Okay, disulfovibrio, and another one disulfomonas. These two are important in the releasing of H or the sulfur in the atmospheric condition. This is about the sulfur cycle. Okay, now this sulfur cycle we have some simple equations. The equations are I'm writing here now. That is H2S, sulfur, hydrogen sulfide. This hydrogen sulfide can simply formed into anaerobic conditions the sulfur, and when it is joined with the atmospheric condition, it is formed in the sulfate. Okay, and next is hydrogen sulfide is directly formed in the sulfates. These two reactions are involved in the sulfur cycle, and another cycle is phosphorus cycle, right? After completion of sulfur cycle, okay, then nutrient cycles, nitrogen is over, next one is sulfur is over, and another one is phosphorus. In the phosphorus cycle, okay now, phosphorus cycle, here we draw a simple diagram of the phosphorus cycle. Okay, what are the elements? This is occurs as usual manners of these nitrogen and sulfur? No, it is not found, or the main resources are not abounded in the atmosphere as the phosphorus. How it is? How? What are the resources? How we can get this phosphorus? Okay, which means the rocks where in millions of years in the geological historical researches, the rocks can deposit these phosphates or the phosphorus. Right now, phosphate formations, right? For example, we draw a simple diagram of this cycle of the phosphorus cycle. Why we call them as nutrients? Why? Because phosphorus is an important element in the backbone of DNA. Right? We will discuss some points about here. Okay, this is not abundant in the atmosphere as like as N2 and S. It is only the source of these phosphorus is the phosphorus source is that is which is present in the rock eroding. Okay, the important and necessary consistence of the phytoplasm, and whether the resource is rock eroding. This is the resource, and the importance of this phosphorus. Importance of phosphorus is the main important constants in the cytoplasm or protoplasm. Main and necessary the constituents of protoplasm. For example, here one of the important plasma membrane is there now. In the plasma membrane ultrastructure, we have already observed that the plasma membrane ultrastructure model, here phospholipid formation is most important to making of the membrane. Okay, and next one here, the backbone of nucleic acids. Right, that is DNA and both the RNA and so on and so. And next one here, the another one, ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and ADP, adenosine diphosphate, which is in the energy packets available, which is available in energy packets. That's why this phosphate is more and more important in our lives, and it is also one of the important element which is converted in our bones. Okay, ma'am. Bones and some invertebrate organisms in their shell formations in their bones and their skeletal formations. This phosphorus is play an important role now. And next today that the remaining structures, how the phosphate can available and how the phosphate run off into the oceans or the aquatic bodies only through the water, only through the run of the current waters and the floods. That's only the main resource to entering of the phosphorus into the aquatic media. For example, there is a rock. Those rocks are eroding in years of times, and these rains are fall down on the rock, and the rock is the wetting and comes the phosphates into the nearby the water body. Right, ma'am? And we will draw a simple diagram this phosphorus. Okay, and next one here the rocky. The rocks are gradually eroding. Right, this is most important. Rocks are gradually eroding, and their resulting is producing the phosphates. These phosphates are translated into the consumers, isn't it now? First of all, here I am drawing a rock. Okay, these rocks gradually eroding, and these results forming the, it can result this forming the phosphorus. These phosphates are available in the producers, plants. Okay, producers. These producers can one of the important food for the animals. That means consumers. These consumers are both producers and consumers are dead, and their dead bodies are decomposed, and here the detrivorous organisms can show their actions, and this is again reaches into the soil dust or the water runoff. They reach aquatic right now bodies, aquatic biomes. This is the one of the big the composers, and finally the decomposer shows the actions, and it converted into the organic phosphate. Right? Organic phosphates. These organic phosphates again reached into the atmosphere of the soil dust or the root systems of the plants. They are reached the phosphates. NPK, the important fertilizers. I am always repeated in this section the nutrient cycles. NPK, nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus. K for potassium, P for phosphorus. NPK fertilizer is suitable for the farmers. These are in the form of just crystalline forms, right? These are just thrown at the crops. Okay, the agriculture fields are used by this fertilizer family, right, ma'am? And here I am drawing in a simple diagram. Especially in the aquatic media, the shallow sediments, shallow water bodies are the substratums. Shallow sediments are one of the most important deposits of the phosphates, right? This is not found out in the atmosphere as like as manner of the nitrogen and the sulfur. And here I diagram draw this simple diagram about this phosphorus cycle. Okay, first here rock and soil. These are the eroding process, Okay, and this eroding process, this is a runoff water to the runoff water. Okay, where it is reaches. Okay, ma, inorganic phosphates, inorganic phosphates, inorganic phosphates. These inorganic phosphates is reach this the plants. Inorganic phosphates, plants absorption, plant absorption, and next it converted into the phosphates, and now these phosphates can enter into the metabolism of organisms, metabolism of the organisms in the form of ADP and ATP forms, and next to the organisms, both these plants and animals, plants and animals both are dead. Their death is caused the decomposition, right? Decomposition. This decomposition is again reaches the rocks and soils, right? This is a simple manner. Here the animals are animals are eat these plants or simply absorbs. Okay, this is a simple cyclic manner of phosphorus cycle. Phosphorus cycle manner. Phosphates, inorganic phosphates. These are one of the important inorganic phosphates are entered into the root system of the plants, and these plants can eaten by the animals. Their metabolic activities are produced in the energy packets of these phosphates, and here also they are formed. They are what we say, ma? They are stored in the form of bones. Okay, phosphate is one of the most important backbone of the nucleic acid, DNA. Okay, the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, the fourth carbon here, the phosphodiester bonds is there, and this is the fifth carbon, here deoxy. Okay, so and so formations here. Phosphate is one of the most important element in the growing of the organism. Okay, these are the nutrient cycles in the sections nitrogen, sulfur and phosphorus. I hope that you people understood. Thank you.